Good evening. Welcome, everybody. My name is Marisa Maggio-Harelson in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm also here with Dr. Sveta Silverman from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We are here and delighted that you're here this evening to learn about an incredible company at the forefront of a new health market, nutrigenomics, redefining the way we age and view wellness care. This is truly a breakthrough technology. I'm so excited for you to learn about this evening. You're going to hear some words like oxidative stress and free radical damage, which we all have if we breathe. So thank the person that invited you to be on this call this evening. We are just so happy that you're here. I was introduced to LifeVantage about 8 years ago by overhearing a conversation at yoga. I'm a yoga teacher and meditation teacher, former television news reporter. I always say I'm a recovering television news journalist. I worked in that industry almost 20 years, and I left that industry when my kids were really little. They're 18 and almost 21 now. I have a wonderful husband and two wonderful Yorkies. And I was blown away by what I saw. I was not looking for LifeVantage when LifeVantage found me, but I said yes to LifeVantage. The science in itself is so compelling that you're going to be blown away if you care about health. And then there is also an opportunity for those that are open to an opportunity. And I just want to say I'm so happy that I was open to take a look at something that I knew nothing about. It has truly changed our family's life and thousands of other people across the world. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And Dr. Silverman will be sharing the science, talking a lot about the science this evening in just a moment. And I will talk a little bit more about her in just a moment, as I met her at yoga as well about 7 years ago. So here we are, LifeVantage. We are a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, about a $230 million a year company, on track to be $1 billion a year company in a few short years. And we are pioneering this beautiful science of nutrigenomics. So some of us, as I mentioned, saw an opportunity. Everybody's results will be different when they do a job, right? When you take part in something, it's really what you put into it. And that's bottom line, is whatever you put into it will be what you get out of it. But I want to start by saying that LifeVantage began with just one single question out of the University of Colorado in Denver. It was a small biotech company. Is declining health something we have to simply accept as part of getting older? Discovery number one. And I think I am not, am I recording? Do you guys see the recording button? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. So discovery number one. Our genes contain incredible abilities to keep our bodies healthy. So your DNA, what we're born with is not necessarily what people think. Like, people think that I'm born with something and it's in my family. But actually only about 97% of what you're born with can actually be changed by the way you live your life. So Sveta can talk a little bit about that in just a moment. So decades later, we discovered a way to activate these abilities. So here we are, LifeVantage. We're going to take you back in time to kind of give you a history of how this once small biotech company got started. John Quinones, many of you might remember who he is. He is an 11-time Emmy award-winning reporter, and he does investigative reporting. And he wanted to do an investigative report on this flagship product called Protandim, that was clinically proven and is clinically proven to reduce this oxidative stress, free radical damage. So really the aging of the cells, reduce that, the rusting of the cells. And they wanted to find out if this was true. So we're going to take you back in time and give you just a little clip of this ABC News report. And then pay close attention to what happens to his blood work. Pay a close attention to the words oxidative stress and how it's related to issues in the tissues. And while you're watching it, be thinking about people that you know, love, and care about that could benefit from this information.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment For me, it begins with a blood test. It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. So, doctor, how often do I take these? And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So, just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
And that's apparently what people did. There were $5 million in orders overnight. The company stock goes from $1 to $20 a share, quickly goes down. They're a small biotech company. They didn't have a manufacturing plant. They didn't have marketing infrastructure. And so they were scrambling to get it online and in store shelves. And it was retail for 3 years. But the products never sold, really. It sold like a quarter of a bottle per store in 6,000 stores, GNCs, Rite Aid, CVS pharmacies. So they took it off the store shelves in 2009, and they put it in the hands, direct sales, people-to-people distribution. And that's what's really shot up our company from a $3.5 million a year company to over a $200 million a year company. The coolest thing about that ABC primetime, many people watched it. Maybe some of you watched it if you're watching the replay tonight of this webinar. Universities and prestigious medical institutions began their own self-funded research. So today there are many studies that Dr. Silverman is going to share with you in just a moment. So I want to turn it over to her. Dr. Sveta Silverman is a surgical pathologist, breast cancer specialist in Alberta, Canada. She was a pediatric surgeon in Russia before emigrating to Canada and going back to med school again. Recently, she has completed a certification in natural medicine. She's on track now to get a fellowship in anti-aging and regenerative health, anti-aging medicine and regenerative health. This woman never stops learning. She is passionate about health and wellness. She is passionate about educating about health and wellness. And she is extremely passionate about educating what LifeVantage products have, because they are redefining the way we age and view wellness care as we know it today. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sveta. I met her at yoga. I introduced this to her. She was intrigued. She did her research. She was blown away, and the rest is history. She has now blessed thousands of people all over the world. Sveta?
Thank you so much, Marisa. Thank you so for such very, very kind introduction. So guys, yes, it's going to be 7 years how I was introduced to LifeVantage, and everything started with a conversation. And when you see, you saw the slide about the genes, so that was my story. The progression of my genealogy tree is my great-grandmother passed away when she was 86. My grandmother passed away when she was 78. My mom passed away when she was 74. So, and I was on a path. What do I do with my genes? And that's when I stumbled upon LifeVantage. Marisa talked to me about oxidative stress. I knew the term oxidative stress. Definitely, I didn't know at that time exactly what it is. And, you know, what do I do for a living? For a living, I diagnose bad cells. I diagnose cancers. So cellular health to me, if of utmost importance, oxidative stress. Next slide, please. So, you know, you need to understand, especially now, especially today, we all know stress. Let me tell you, everyone is stressed. Today, everyone in North America is stressed because we live in an uncertain times. And uncertainty creates anxiety, and anxiety creates stress. And stress, and you see our stress comes from different modalities. You see that on the slide, but I'm just talking about, let's say, emotional stress. So where does it go? Where does it hit? It hits you, me, and everybody else. Who are we? We're a lump of cells. And guess what? When the stress comes and anxiety and uncertainty and the bad food and the environment, you know, the cells are not spared. You know, your body doesn't tell you, oh, you know what? The stress is going to concentrate on my toenail, but it's not going to go into my brain. Yes, it does. Every cell from head to toe is undergoing that stress. What does it mean, stress in the cells? Stress in the cells is called oxidative stress. Let's put it in a lame terms, it's a cellular garbage. So having a free radical damage, which is a medical term, oxidative stress, putting it in a lame term, cellular garbage in every cell. And the thing with oxidative stress or cellular garbage is when we get older, when we age, and when we acquire all this outside and inside stress, our cleaning apparatus is starting to fail. That's what it's all about. Next slide, please. So when I discovered pretandem, now I know it's an NRF2 activator pretandem. The only thing I knew at the presentation, I want this in my body. Why? Because it consists of this. I knew the ingredients. I knew what they do. I did not know actually what the synergy of them does. Now I know through the studies. It's an NRF2 activator. And as you see here, yes, next slide, please. 26 peer-reviewed, well, this is actually before that. See, this is what I teach, guys. Please, don't get me wrong. This is not a magic bullet. This is not a panacea. This is a part of a lifestyle. We need to eat right. We need to supplement right. We need to upregulate right. So you need to eat your antioxidants to clean your free radicals, but you need to make antioxidants because your antioxidants are your cellular vacuum cleaners. But the point of the matter is that what we eat, especially now in season, blueberries are in season, strawberries are in season, raspberries are in season, amazing, amazing antioxidant factories. But those antioxidants, those, for example, that vitamin C does not survive, doesn't act well without our antioxidants that we make. And our antioxidants that we make, for example, let me throw a big term in you, glutathione. And I'm sure these days you hear the term glutathione a lot. So glutathione doesn't survive without vitamin C. This is that coexistence. This is that synergy. This is that family of goodness. Next slide, please. When I told you, when I was introduced, the only thing I told you before that I wanted this in my body. But then I started researching to find out more and more. The science obviously evolves. 26 peer-reviewed studies are done on the branded product. And please, visit the National Institute of Health digital library, www.pubmed.gov, pubmed.gov. Just do a little bit of a research. It's fun. It's fun to learn what is good for your health. 26 peer-reviewed studies. There is another site, which I will encourage you to actually visit. It's called PubMed Central. It's even wider. Pretendum is mentioned in 116 papers. Not the ingredients, the branded product, which is awesome. Now, next slide. Pretendum is what is brought up as a foundation. I told you, Pretendum is going to turn on your cellular vacuum cleaners. How? By activation of a master switch. The master switch is called NRF2 protein complex. You know what? Since I got absolutely infatuated by NRF2, and there were 5 conferences. That's how new it is. That's how evolving it is. In '94, there was 1 study. Now, in 2020, there are 1,800 studies on NRF2. Can you see where it's going? Now, the excitement is, look, NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in foreseeable future and may become most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. Everything about us is health. That's who we are. We're happy when we're healthy. We're miserable when we do not feel good. So so you clean the cells. That's a foundation. Now, what else do you do? What do you need? You need energy, right? When you turn on your car, your car is not going to run if there is no engine. Your cells are not going to run if there is no engine. And the engine of the cell is called mitochondria. So guess what? In the car, you have 1 engine. In the brain, you have 3,000 to 4,000 engines. Again, by getting dirtier, acquiring oxidative stress and aging, your mitochondria declines. The mitochondrial numbers not only declines, but the mitochondrial function declines. This is the nature of things. So A, again, clean the cells. B, turn on the mitochondrial boosters. How? 2 ways. A, you need to boost the numbers. B, you need to boost the functionality. So again, this is a 2nd generation. It's called NRF1 Pretendum. We're not going to get into details. Well, it's the same methodology. It's the methodology of synergy and usage of an amazing ingredients. Those ingredients in that synergy, in that cake concoction recipe, specific recipe, not only going to boost the number of your engines, but going to increase their functionality. Next slide, please. Now, when you start, so we were talking about engines and cell cleanliness. So now let's talk about genes and DNA. I'm sure you know how sleeping is very important for us, the quality of sleep. Now, your genes, they also need to go and rest. Your DNA needs to go and rest. So what turns on the DNA rest? It's called sirtuins. It's a series of proteins. Well, sirtuins are not only participating in calming down the genes, I call them the DNA zens. They also participate again in your mitochondria, in that cellular engine. Now, next slide, please. Now, you need to turn this on, and again, this mitochondrial processes need to be turned on. And another protein complex, which is called NAD, also turns on your zen genes or your sirtuins, your genes that relax your DNA, but they also turn the mitochondrial processes. So this is the 3rd generation. Now, next slide, please. So that tri-synergizer or tri-synergy, tri-activator or tri-upregulator. So A, the foundation, you clean the cells. Can you please go back? You clean the cells, then you boost the numbers of mitochondria and the function. And then you upregulate your genes, and you also even upregulate more. You stabilize, you functionalize your mitochondria. Next slide, please. And that's what represents when you do in a single manner. These are your black boxes. But when you do it in togetherness and synergy and tri-synergy, that's when you get the most effect on top of eating your nutrient-dense foods. I could never not say that. Next slide, please. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Now, what I'm going to tell you very briefly, we do have a pretandem NRF2 activator for animals. If you have dogs, we have a specific formulation to make it palatable. It has a chicken flavor or it has a liver flavor. However, I have a cat, and sorry guys, you dog lovers, you can fool the dog and put this and the dog will eat it. You cannot fool the cat. The cat is not going to go for these flavors and this amazing stuff. You just need to give a cat pretandem, which I do every day. My baby gets a little bit of a pill every day because that calms her down. So now, NRF2 activator pretandem we mentioned, it's from the inside, we eat it. Now, let's think about the skin. It's very hard to bring it from the pill to the skin and clean the cells. So there is a skincare regimen that is based on NRF2 pretandem formulation. And the hair care regimen, which is based on NRF2 pretandem. It's the same methodology, it's the same philosophy of NRF2 activation. Now, if you, again, go back to PubMed.gov and read the studies published from Louisiana State University on the skin. Now, this is a God-given brain sustainer. I was up today at 5 o'clock. I was on a yoga mat at 6 o'clock. It is 7:26 in Edmonton, Alberta. I haven't stopped. So this keeps me going amongst other things. It's called Axio. It sustains your energy very gradually. There are no ups, there are no downs. It's just normal functionality. But what else does it give you? It gives you clarity. It gives you concentration. It gives you focus. It sustains my memory, which I absolutely need for what I do. Okay, fine. Now, not only what I said, it tastes great, but this Axio is also an NRF2 activator, and it is also mitochondrial boost. It's an amazing, amazing drink. Now, the foundation of health and the sustainability and maintenance of our immune system resides in our microgut. So, you need to learn about probiotics and prebiotics. Now there's a term which is called symbiotic. Probiotic, you boost the bacteria and all the other microorganisms, absolutely essential for your well-being. Now, prebiotics feed your microgut, feeds your probiotics. So that's why, again, synergy, symbiotic. Now, ours is great. I'm not going to get into detail, other than telling you, yesterday I was listening to a high advanced webinar on microgut, and where the world-renowned microbiologist said that if you eat probiotics that are not protected from hydrochloric acid or stomach acid barrier, he just said they all die. So what ours, the distinct feature of ours, that it has a protective barrier from the stomach acid. So those alive species, we have 6 species, 5 billion colonies. They deliver to where they belong. They have a specific targeted delivery. If it's a small gut, it's a small gut. If it's a large gut, it's a large gut. So again, clean the gut, because you need to clean the house of the bugs. Then you reboost, repopulate, reactivate existing, and then you feed them through prebiotics. But please don't forget your fish oils. Don't forget your omegas, because you need them for cellular integrity and you need them for cellular fluidity. So this is my part, guys. So now, you know, there's one thing I will tell you before I turn it on back to Marisa, to whom I'm very grateful for introducing me into LifeVantage and eventually becoming my soul sister. That's what happens sometimes when you join the right company. So anyway, so let's say, why does the doctor do the business? Because I live health, I teach health, I learn health, I regurgitate health. And to me, what LifeVantage brings is cellular upregulation and cellular sustenance, cellular sustainability. And you absolutely need it for that health on top of what, you know, what I mentioned, on top of great sleep and good foods and absolute great positivity and mind. So that is why LifeVantage, that brings that legacy, amongst other things. So thank you very much, Marisa. It's all yours.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Silverman. So appreciate you and just how passionate you are about helping so many people. And I just love listening to you. So thank you for being on. So 90% of LifeVantage is customer-based, which says a lot for what we have our hands on. We are a customer-based opportunity company that people need these products every day. We have an 80% retention rate with customers. But for some of us that know we're going to share it with people we love, because I would have to not like you to not share this, you can actually earn and share. So you can earn income to maybe pay for your products or some part-time, full-time, or life-changing income. It's up to you. But you can do this from anywhere in the world. It's social sharing. It's basically having a personal online store. The company manages a beautiful website, replicated website that you have with your name on it. And you can send, in fact, I've done this today, shopping carts to several people. We have a special with a limited offer with a beautiful NRF2 activated skincare mask. Oh my gosh, it's like having a facial in a jar. It's incredible. So, you know, it's just, they make it very easy for us as far as being able to share information. Now, wellness care, if you think about it, if you look at these statistics, it has had a 60% increase over the last 8 years. And if you look at other trends by market research, you can see that those trends have actually gone down. So for me, health and wellness is everything. And without our health, nothing else matters. So for me, I was in alignment with this. And I'll tell you a little bit more about my story later on. But if you go to PubMed.gov, like Dr. Silverman was telling you, and you type in oxidative stress, you're going to get over 230,000 studies. You guys, that's huge. And every day it's rising, over 1,800 studies a month on oxidative stress. There's over 15,000 studies just on NRF2. If you type in NRF2, over 15,000 and rising. It's just a crazy amount. So why wouldn't you share this? So if you fall in love with these products and a few basic business principles, then you can really change your life forever if you'd like. We have 3 packs that people come into, and some people just want to be customers, and they'll come in on one of these packs because it's kind of like the Costco version of shopping. You're going to save over 36% on a platinum pack. It's a one-time purchase, all of these packs, 33% savings on a gold pack, and over 31% savings on the silver pack. You get all of the products on the platinum pack. And so if you're serious about being open to an opportunity where people should have a side hustle, they should have another form of income besides what their normal job is, because if you're not building your own dreams, then you're probably building somebody else's. So if you come in on one of these packs in that platinum, you're getting experience of all the products. Whether you use them all the time or not, you've at least been able to experience them, and you'll be able to share what you know about the products. We do pay really well weekly and monthly. It takes time to build what we call a team and leveraged income. I'm not going to go deep into the compensation plan tonight, but I will tell you it's magnificent. It's probably the best in this profession of network marketing. I do want to point out the elite bonus pool. When you become an elite distributor, Sveta is an elite Pro 7, I'm an elite Pro 8, you take part in global revenue sharing. They take 4% of the monthly commissionable sales and they divide it among the elites, with Pro 7s getting 1 of the 4 shares, Pro 8s getting 2 of the 4 shares, Pro 9s getting 3 of the 4 shares, and Pro 10s getting all 4 shares. This is over a $30,000 a month pool. It's one of the 7 or 8 different ways this company pays. And since we are publicly traded, everything is transparent. Our earnings income disclosure statement is on the website. So you get to see what our company is paying out to the different ranks. We have ranks from Pro 1 or brand new distributor to Executive Master Pro 10. It's actually an Executive Pro 11 now. It's really awesome. So a Pro 3 is somebody that's relatively new in the business, and we try to get people to Pro 3 their first 90 days of LifeVantage. It's about 5,000 organizational volume points coming through their business. So they've got maybe a couple people under them that see this, that want to run with this like they do. And maybe they have 1 or 2 people that are business builders and a few customers. So that's over a $630 check a month. Can you imagine what that would do for families today, especially with people having, being on furloughs, with people who have lost their jobs? That is a significant income stream that you can guarantee, well, pretty much guarantee if you've built the business that it's going to be happening monthly. And then getting into a little higher into the compensation plan is a Premier Pro 5. And that's over 20,000 organizational volume points coming through their business. That's over $3,000 a month. And then you get to the elite ranks. I didn't even look at these numbers, you guys, when I started LifeVantage, because I had never made that. I never made 6 figures working in television news. I worked probably 60 hours a week, but I never made that kind of income. So when I looked at it, I thought, well, that would be really nice, but I didn't think I was worthy. And that has a lot to do with how we grew up around money as a child in Kentucky. So today I can proudly say that Sveta is an Elite Pro 7 and I am an Elite Pro 8. And if anybody would have said this is where I would be this time in my life, I would not have believed you. But I thank God every single day that I overheard a conversation at yoga and was introduced to this by one of my yoga students, and that I was open enough to have a burning desire to change our family's life and to break the strains of financial stress that my parents grew up with and their parents grew up with. And, there's a lot out there that most of us are not taught to look into the network marketing profession. But I have to tell you, I think it's the most honorable profession. It's being taught in universities all over the world, and it is the business of the 21st century. So can you do it? Well, if you have a burning desire and you have great work ethic and a good heart, yeah, you'd be qualified for LifeVantage. There's support is 24/7. We teach people how to launch their business, how to learn this business, and it's not hard. It's a simple system of duplication. And then you become a leader and you start leading other people and you help other people. And I don't know another business model out there in the world where you're only as successful as the people that you're helping. In television news, the person next to me wanted my job. It was very competitive. In here, you want people to do better than you do. Dr. Silverman actually ranked advanced way before I did. And that's really an awesome thing to have happen in your organization, because then you have a solid business foundation. So do you like something in your life? Do you tell people about it? That's all this is. And then you're getting paid for it. Do you get paid when you tell somebody to go to a good movie or a yoga studio or a restaurant? Probably not. Or a doctor? Probably not. But people make money by other people talking about it. So when these products, people are raving about them. So we have a beautiful support community. We have trainings. There's a mastery training tomorrow morning. I would invite you to be on that at 9 a.m. Pacific. And so you get a feel of the culture and our corporate staff, as well as the incredible leaders that all started at ground zero, just like me, just like Sveta. So if you need more information, by goodness, get your information, get your questions answered. If you're ready to become a customer, we're ready to help you get started. Take advantage of the incredible bundles that we have available to you right now. Brain activation bundles, our beautiful mask. The brain activation bundles will be over by the end of this month, that promotion. So, get your questions answered. If you're ready to join the team, then get started today. I love what Richard Branson says. He says, when someone offers you an opportunity and you're intrigued by it, just say yes. And then, you can learn how to do it later. And that's really, I didn't know how to do network marketing. I've never done that in my entire life, but I locked arms with people that were better than me, that were successful. I didn't listen to naysayers. I have big dreams. I have big dreams for my children. This is willable, sellable, generational income. This company has a legacy program where we give back to charities all over the world and they match funds. We're able to build homes in Mexico, provide meals for families. Aaron Brockovich is on our board of directors. Our CEO rang the closing bell on Wall Street. I mean, I could go on and on about all the beautiful components of a successful business. If you were to look and say, well, what would I look at if I were going to join a business? I'm telling you, you know, for our CEO to be asked by Wall Street to ring the closing bell during Wellness Week in January, we're the official sponsors for Real Salt Lake. And there's just so many more things. We're in over 24 countries. When Sveta and I joined, we were in 4. So the company's growing with or without each and every one of us here. So we hope that you see this. If you're on the replay, fantastic. Just thank the person that invited you and get back to them. And don't buy your products on Amazon because we can't guarantee that they are coming from our manufacturing plants. So we can't guarantee the safety. And we can tell you that there have been counterfeit products. So have integrity and get back to the person that invited you. And if you want to be a customer, then obviously, you know, get it from our company, from the manufacturing plant. So I want to thank you all, each and every one of you, for being on this call tonight. And take care. Have a wonderful weekend.